Hey there, welcome to Dealmakers Decoded. This is a series featuring the top deal makers and their top tip to help you close more deals faster. Today we have Dave Donlan from Crayon. Dave, thanks so much for coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me, Chris.
I'd love to get a quick intro about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been in sales and marketing for, over 18 years. Today I'm the Chief Revenue Officer here at Crayon. We're a startup company that offers competitive and market intelligence capabilities for companies. My role with the company is I lead the sales team. I also lead our customer success team to make sure all our customers are getting a great experience, but also measuring the success of adopting Crayon today.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much for coming on, Dave. Obviously, you had a lot of success. What's one thing that you'd want to share with other people on how to be more successful?
Well, we are hiring, and the one thing I would love to share today is how to nail the sales interview. I can't tell you how many folks I'm interviewing today, and some of them I really, really like, but unfortunately they don't come prepared, or they don't follow the basic steps that sales leaders like myself look for when hiring top talent. So I'm going to share my experience and the things that is very important when going through the interview process if you really want to work at a company like Crayon, and how to nail that process. The first is really the resume. The resume is it's this piece of paper that's going to represent you. And a lot of folks might not get to meet you, but if they're going to get to know who you are, they're going to want to look at your resume. Even today, a lot of folks' resumes could be LinkedIn. But I still believe the resume is a very important piece to the interview or sales interview process. What I strongly recommend when doing a resume is first, resume has to be immaculate. Now, when you log into Microsoft Word or Google Docs, there's hundreds of resume templates. Personally, I don't care what template you use, but you can't have any mistakes on that resume. So first off, no spelling or grammatical errors. That's a big no-no. But even something as simple as spacing. Sometimes people will put in their work experience. Yeah, I worked here from June 2016 to October of 2017, but I'll notice the spacing between the hyphen is a little different next to some of the other spacing on some other work experience. And consistency is extremely important when putting that resume together. And folks like myself, when we see that, that's a deal breaker. Because again, this is a piece of paper, or this is something that is representing you. And if you can't take 5 seconds to make sure that everything looks immaculate, then my first impression of you is that you're either sloppy or you're lazy. So the first thing I can't stress enough is the importance of the resume. And just make sure that, again, it looks immaculate. You have no grammatical errors or no misspellings. But that's the first thing that I tell people. Always make sure you nail down the resume.
Perfect. And then in the interview, what specifically do you look for?
I look for folks that are hungry, and I look for folks that are inquisitive. I want the person I'm interviewing to ask me a lot of questions. Now, I'm an older man, and I like my questions to be 6, 7 words, and that's it. I don't want long, laborious questions. I don't want 4 questions and once. I want short questions. Brevity is your friend in the sales interview. So the first thing is I want people to come in and just have a natural curiosity about what we do, how we do it, how's the technology work, and just keep asking me questions. I find that people that ask a lot of good questions can build credibility, not just with me, but in a sales atmosphere. So in a sales environment, if you're asking a lot of questions, you're going to build really good credibility with your prospects and your clients, and they're going to appreciate that you have that natural curiosity. So I look for questions. And then the other thing is that hunger. I don't care if you're trying to apply for a sales job or sales ops. We need sales ops people, by the way, really bad. Or applying for accounting. You should show a natural hunger that you want to win and you want to grow your career. I say to everybody in the interview process, it's highly unlikely that you're going to retire at a HubSpot where I used to work, or a crayon. So what do you want? And everybody wants something. So come in with some sort of hunger of what exactly you want to do in your career. I find the best sales leaders really want to know, because we want to be part of your journey to help you get that career, get that chapter in your career. So I look for folks that are naturally inquisitive and not afraid to ask really good questions. And I look for folks that have this yearn or hunger to not only win, but to consistently learn more and better their skills.
Any last points or tips or pointers you recommend people thinking about who are looking to get into sales or sales ops?
Yes, it is a small world. So whatever company you go to interview, respect the interview process. Even if you're not interested in working there and you sit down across from a recruiter, a hiring manager, whatever, write a really sharp thank you email. After the interview, you should have your thank you emails with everyone you met ready to go within 24 business hours. Even if you're not interested at working at that company, man, people will remember you for that experience that you put them through, the interviewee, you put them through the process. And as I said before, it's a small world. I remember everyone that has interviewed me. I remember everyone that I have interviewed. I remember the good, the bad, and the ugly. I remember them all. I don't forget them, and I don't think they forget me. So my goal is to make sure everybody that comes in through my interview process gets a fabulous experience, whether they're interested or I'm interested. It's got to go both ways, because, again, there might come a time where you did not represent yourself very well, and then you're trying to get a job a few years down the road, and somebody just happens to be friends with someone that interviewed with you 3 or 5 years ago, and you didn't represent yourself very well. So it's very important that whether you're interested or not, make sure that you treat every interview process professionally, and make sure that the person you're interviewing with has a great experience, even if you're not interested in working there.
David Donlan from Crayon. They're hiring for sales ops. Check them out. Thanks so much again, David, and I'll see y'all next week.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Chris, and talk to you soon. Take care.
You too.